Yeah, initially I was going to end this by just recording my fifth video and then done. But you know what? Let me just do shorts. I don't know why I would do this, but I always watch this guy's like Tokusatsu shows all the time, man, because I never thought he would be a fan. But I've seen his show like it's like from like Dragon Dungeons and Dragons like D&D or like Demon Slayer, which he had recently been doing. Oh man, I don't know why I did that right there. His name is Hamasamakun or Hamasamakun. But he does do a lot of like these like D&D stuff. Really, is mostly I could say the bulk of it, but also Demon Slayer is recently becoming the bulk of this. But he also does Tokusatsu on the side because he actually watched a lot of it as a kid. But I did like this one he did where he did the most tragic character of like Power Rangers. Let's just see this guy Jerry, the guy. Okay, so this guy says it. Jerry, the one guy who keeps moving the cities where Power Rangers happen.
This comment just makes me think about the fact that there is a very high possibility that there's just one person in the Power Rangers universe who's experienced every single season. Similar to that guy who lived in Hiroshima, got bombed, went to Nagasaki, and then got bombed again.
Wait, what? Huh?
Like, imagine what those support group meetings must be like.
And so yeah, during the last big monster fight, the Power Rangers destroyed my car.
Weakling.
I'm sorry, what?
I said weakling. Do we have some kind of problem?
Yeah, it's a very weird way of talking to people.
Or
Do you have any idea the shit that I've been through in the last 20 years?
Well,
No, we don't know you.
Allow me to educate you. So I grew up in Angel Grove.
Yeah, we all know what happened there.
Oh dear God.
There is no god where I'm from. Either way, we were attacked by a space witch, a robot army, and a pirate.
Yeah, we all know the stories. Eventually, the Alliance of Evil invaded a residential city.
A residential city I had just moved to for my new job.
Oh.
After all of that, I think to myself, why not move into space? It's the furthest place from all of this Power Ranger shit.
And how did that?
We got attacked by space bugs and a pirate.
Eva talks?
A different pirate.
So what happened after that?
Well, I moved back home, but lo and behold, apparently demons are real too.
But at least you had the Lightspeed Rescue Power Rangers to defend you.
The government funded you idiots.
Lightspeed Rescue was funded by the government. I paid for that with my tax dollars.
Oh.
And so I move again, but lo and behold, apparently time travel's real too.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Didn't giant wormholes open up all across your city?
Yes, my car was sucked up into the Cretaceous period.
Well, I mean, surely that must have been the last of it.
Nope, I moved again, and then the god of nature used my new car as a chew toy.
Well, have you considered moving to the moon? Okay, but
Yeah, see, this is why I love watching this stuff because it actually gives me a good break from like watching so much long form stuff. Also, I was planning also watching a video on Alabama Barker. Thank God I didn't do that because I'm like, nope, way. However, if you want me to do it in the future, Val, I will do that because I am a sucker. But you know what? Since I won't say that, I would want to watch the whole thing, but I want to see other stuff as well. But you know, for
you
now,
mean to
let's
tell me
just
that
do
you've
it.
experienced
Let's just go through each one for now. Let's just move on with this.
every Power Ranger team?
Yep.
How?
Well,
So his YouTube channel name is right here, but I'm just gonna put his name in the corner like as usual, just because I'm used to doing it.
after my moon home was destroyed by 15 Red Rangers, a giant robot dragon, and the big bad Beetleborgs.
Given I just watched a video on Metal Heroes, I'm kind of funny that I'm hearing Big Bad Beetleborgs because that I believe it happened in 1995, or maybe I'm wrong on that one.
I decided to move to somewhere called Blue Bay Harbor,
Which was home to...
a goddamn ninja academy.
Okay, yep, this is bothering me. 1996. Okay, never mind. I was wrong on this specific front. So anyway, back to the video.
Oh, wouldn't that mean that the city is overall safer?
Yeah, you'd think that until their headmaster was turned into a guinea pig by a space luchador.
Space luchador?
What?
Yeah, it was all just a little too weird, so I decided to move to a place called Reefside.
Isn't that where...
A scary dinosaur man whose plan was to turn everybody else into dinosaurs lives? Yeah.
Doesn't Tommy Oliver live there too?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and for about 3 months, him and his boy crush were fighting all across the city.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense now.
And so by this point, I've tried numerous cities and the moon and space, so why not go into the future?
Via one of those cracks in time from Time Force, I'm assuming?
Sure, yeah, I don't care. Bottom line is,
Lord.
I discovered a thing called Space Patrol Delta.
Which is...
Power Ranger
SPD.
cops who I believe at one point employed a child soldier.
What?
Bottom line is, I then moved to this place called Briarwood.
Well, in that case, you're just asking for trouble. That sounds like a fantasy setting.
Right
Yes.
you are, because apparently vampires, gnomes, elves, magic, and tentacle Satan are all real too.
Well, maybe if you lived a more nomadic style, they wouldn't be able to mess with you.
Tried that. A rich white guy employed a team of the worst people I've ever met to travel across the globe and steal artifacts.
Was he funded by the British Museum?
Honestly, might have been.
Well, what about Ocean Bluff? I hear they have a great pizza place.
Yeah, no, their team can summon ghost animals. Have you ever been mauled by a spiritual tiger?
I have not been mauled by a spiritual tiger. And finally, I said something off the wall because yeesh.
Well, at least you know it can't get any worse from here.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Oh, I'm getting a text. What the hell's a Vengix?
Oh my god. That's RPM. Oh, everything's fine now. Who knows? Maybe not, but yeah, so that's part 2. Let's jump to part
It
3.
seems kind of pointless to do this considering the world was destroyed by robots. Well, what's going on in your life?
Well, after my house was destroyed by what is essentially Skynet, I took an underground multiversal train to another city.
And how did that go?
That's good.
Yeah, so it turns out Japanese hell is real.
Japanese hell.
Yeah, it is apparently an entire dimension of blood and demons, and the only thing standing
Blood and Demons is the funniest thing I've ever heard because that's legit how you describe this.
between us and annihilation are the Samurai Rangers.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you can trust them. Imagine the long and storied history of Japan.
Wisconsin.
What?
I shit you not.
A long and storied history of Wisconsin. That's so
There's not a single Japanese person on that entire team.
which is crazy. I'm not
In fact, they're led by one of the whitest men I've ever seen in my life.
Gross, I hate that. What happened next?
Well, after I watched the cast of Glee defeat the Demon King, as well as a guy who looked suspiciously like the Red Wild Force Ranger, I moved to a place called Harwood County.
Uh-huh.
And let's just say it's pretty fitting that the guy
Did the city ever get a name in Megaforce, or is that an actual city's name, Harwood County? That. Oh, it is Harwood County. Huh.
they were fighting looks a lot like a termite because we were being defended by planks of wood.
What do you mean?
I'm not exaggerating when I say that having dealt with them, they're the most untalented, unsalted people I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean,
Damn.
it couldn't have been that bad.
I was actively rooting for the bad guy to win.
Oh.
Oh.
And it only got worse from there because then they got a power-up that just turned them into pirates.
What?
Yeah, pirates. They look like pirates, they drive a pirate ship, and they've spent the entirety of their season stealing every ounce of my will to live.
Wow, that truly seems like we've hit rock bottom.
Oh, there was also a quote-unquote legendary battle starring all of the previous Ranger teams, but I'm giving that about as much attention as, you know, the show did.
Wait, hold on, what happened with that?
So anyway,
That's the one thing that immediately clicked into my head. Like, whoa, wait. Wait, you can't just overlook that and just come back. That's legit what I think.
I moved to a place
that
called Amber Beach,
God damn it.
This is Dino Charge's place, man.
and after fighting an intergalactic bounty hunter at the behest of a Muppet, they somehow made it so that the dinosaurs never went extinct.
What are you talking about? The dinosaurs never did go extinct.
See what I mean?
Well, at least you can take comfort in the fact that it can't get any more ridiculous from here.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. What the hell is that?
I don't know, but it's coming from space and it looks like it's made out of ninja steel.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I think that's where we have to end it because it was very. I'm looking down at the bottom meter, just go when it goes fully red, so it doesn't really do much. Anyway, let's move on to the
You
last.
seem troubled.
Gee, I wonder why.
Me too, that's why I asked.
Were
Yeah.
you aware that extremely Japanese-coded aliens host a game show where they try to claim a thing called the Ninja Nexus Prism?
No.
Neither
Cool concept, but my god, it doesn't get dealt much into
did
it.
I, but apparently during Double Jeopardy, a giant robot emerged from the office building I was working in.
How is that even possible?
Ninjas.
I don't
Yes.
think you can use the word ninja in place of an actual reason.
Yes, that's an actual reason.
Okay, look, once you bear witness to a group of teenagers using magic ninja space metal to alter reality, then you can start making the rules. But until then, shut the hell up.
Fine, jeez.
Anyway, after that, I decided to move to a futuristic city called Coral Harbor.
Oh yeah, isn't that where Grid Battle Force is located?
Yep.
Government funded, of course.
Just one more government-sponsored Power Rangers organization.
Well, yeah, but I hear they crack renewable energy.
They did that by tapping into an interdimensional space called the Morphin Grid to create Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, so?
Do you have any idea what the Morphin Grid is? They essentially turned the concept of good into a car battery.
Well, I mean, it couldn't have been...
Now that I think about it, that is a weird way to use the concept of good, like the Morgan Grid, making it into like a funded like fun operation rather than anything else is crazy though.
That bad. Yeah, no.
But it's also kind of possibly you can say the most realistic way that anyone would use that type of power.
It was great having a $10 energy bill until Venjix came back again. How? Fan service? I don't know. He was mixed with snake
Fan
DNA.
service.
What the fuck does that even mean? I don't know, but if you ask me, he had a much better deal. Why's that? Because in the city of Pine Ridge, there's a Red Ranger who's apparently mixed with a slug.
Literally, he's an alien.
What am I even looking at? I don't know, but I don't like the fact that they're discolored at the tips. Gross, I hate that. What happened? Well, I'm assuming with age and eventually wear and tear on the head penises Not with the head antennas. What happened with the Rangers? Oh, right. They fought off a cordyceps invasion and then went into space. To do what?
Really?
Fight Zed again, I guess? What do you mean fight Zed? He died like 15 seasons ago. Well, apparently through the power of TikTok, he was brought back again. Have you ever realized just how weird our universe is? It's not just ours. You should see the Japanese.
Oh yes, I would want to show the other one there, but I'm gonna just leave that to your viewing imagination for now because I'm completely just out of it when it comes to this specifically. Oh, this is a Power Comrade Decade one. Let's see.
You know what? Why not?
He got the whole suit and everything. Look at that. He got the whole. Doug got the whole like this part. You also got the turtleneck sweater. Like it's very nice. Henshin. Coming right. Okay. Like this, at this, Comrade Decade's definition of why I'm watching this show is simply because of this voice. It's because of the voice. Like genuinely, that's it. Kamen Rider. Decay. Decay.
Like real talk, I feel like destroying some worlds right now.
Like genuinely, you actually look good in that suit.
It's just the thing is, you're my world.
Cringe and I like it. Kamen Rider. Decay. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna look at that again because I generally just liked the Decade transformation as a whole because it's so simple. Guardian, fine. Sure, from a false point, doing it false is impossible because you can't just do that. Of course, it has to be done with editing and such, but it's not really too much of a hassle unless you do this here. Also, if you're wondering about Power Rangers Samurai, this is what he meant originally, but I don't know if I'm going to show that right now. Maybe we're going to do a quick jump cut, but who knows? Who knows what might happen there?
This might be controversial to say considering there are much larger Power Ranger creators who love to glaze the fuck out of Jade and Shiba, but Power Rangers Samurai is one of the worst adapted seasons of Power Rangers of all time. You're telling me this man is the leader of the Samurai?
That's the first thing I hear when it comes to the show is the main Red Rangers are Japanese, which, given the show and its samurai, given its also samurai a more well-known Japanese history, yes, doing a Japanese guy would have been better than doing Jaden. But Jaden did carve out his own iconic niche himself, so I'll give them credit for at least making something out of a weirdly funny situation.
Was his ancestor Tom Cruise? And the worst part is, the narrative could have worked with him being the whitest man I've ever seen in my life, had they not made the true head of the Shiba household this woman. As for those who don't know, the original role of the Red Ranger was to be a Kagemusha, or in other words, a body double meant to die. But seriously, dude, this season is a step-by-step guide how not to adapt a fucking piece of media. Because all of the small changes they made to the story made the story not make sense anymore. Like, dog, if we're gonna call anyone Lord anything, it's my boy Takeru Shiba, who is 1,000 times more compelling than any character in Samurai. Save for maybe Antonio. Like, bruh, there is no clearer example of whitewashing to ever exist. Power Rangers Samurai has no Japanese people in it. Like, oh, Hama, what about Mia? Bruh, Mia's Korean!
Oh god, let's just check for the comments. Didn't they butch the plot point of telling the situation no because he's not a samurai? In the American version, it's a work class system. In your Japanese, it's you have no obligation to risk your life. Please go home. Another reason why people were mad at that point was Mentor G took away Antonio's morpher, even though it's Antonio who made him stop. Which is true. That made me mad. 'Cause I'm like, yay, you don't take shit that isn't yours. That wasn't the fact of that. Quite nice. Very nice. Takara Shibara's Jane could fall on his ass trying to keep. The removal of the calligraphy brush from the morpher personally pisses me off. I don't find it maddening, but I understand why. It's not like much. But yeah, that's all I can say right now. But you know what? To end this, let me just show one more. Yeah.
You want to see the most unintentionally funny thing in all of fiction?
No?
I'm telling you, dude, all Tokusatsu shows are peak comedy.
What the? Yo, whoa, wait. I just realized what type of symbol this is. Why was he
I'm telling
hiding
you, dude,
there?
all Tokusatsu shows are peak comedy. Like, I don't even know the context surrounding this, but that scene alone implies that Kamen Rider found the location of the treasure, dug it up, disposed of it, then buried himself alive. Also that he could lie in wait and ambush them when they finally dug up the treasure. But like, how long was he down there?
Yeah.
Was he just biding his time? Like, yo, this is gonna be so fucking funny. Fuck, how long have I been down here? Man, I hope nothing happened to them. How long could it feasibly take for an evil organization to find a hole in the ground left for them by the world's dumbest dictator? Oh my god, I'm gonna be here forever. What if they never found the treasure? Would he have just...
That would have been funny if they never found the treasure. Next thing you know, he has to find a way to dig himself out.
Stay down there permanently? Would the world fall into Shocker's hands just because Kamen Rider wants to do a fucking bit? And you want to know the best part? This
What?
is in fact not the season where they fight Starfish Schindler. Kamen Rider is peak fiction.
Damn. Okay. That's enough of Jet for me for taking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for another one. Peace out.